Before going to this, I would come here proper use of knowledge, of obviously application of knowledge. Diversity of knowledge is must. Though you are doing all specializations as per Pune University is providing, in addition to that minor specialization, you are having a combination of major minor. So you will be expertise in a particular area. You will be getting a degree of MBA from Pune University with all those major minor subjects posted there. Now even if you see the choices of subjects which are available to you, say in what we call as a basket in typical syllabus system. So you have been provided with a basket. When you go to the hotels, you know, they will give you a roti basket or a, what they call paratha basket. So what is there in a basket? You might have experienced this. When you order a paratha basket or a roti basket, what comes in it?
Diversity of rotis.
So different types of rotis are there which are put in one basket. So the same concept is there in syllabus, basket approach what we call. So there is a basket of 10 subjects and university says it's very clearly mentioned in a bold statement that any 3 of the following courses should be selected. So who should select that ideally? Student should select, isn't it? That's what we call as a choice-based credit system, CBCS system. So ideally, student should select. So out of 10, if suppose I have got 180 students, if the distribution of the students selecting those 10 subjects is very much improportionate, university also has got made one rule that if there are less than 20 students for a particular course, it is okay even if we don't conduct the classes, right? Which simply means that we should have to have sufficient number of people that whatever teachers we have got, they will have their time very properly utilized for the benefit of the students. If there is only one student and I am teaching one particular subject, so I will be in a way, not directly but in a way, wasting my time only for that one student who may not be very much serious about it. Okay, so point here is that out of 10 subjects, you will choose some 3 subjects. Remaining 7 subjects you don't study, which are mandatorily can be studied by a university syllabus. And going ahead, what I am trying to tell you is that here, diversity of subjects. So you need to do some additional courses when you pass out. Simultaneously, we had discussion earlier that simultaneously you might be doing some courses online. Online courses are abundantly available on internet. We have got platforms like Coursera, Swayam, then Moodle, then your Udemy, and there are many such kind of platforms available even on YouTube, Skillshare. There are many places where these online courses are available, and you are supposed to do those courses for a simple understanding of diversity of knowledge. Whatever you understand, whatever you learn, your university syllabus is insufficient for making you going to the principle of Peter's principle, if you can remember. So for going to the next hierarchical level, you need to understand the diversity possibilities in the area of your specialization, and according to you have to keep on developing yourself by matching up with the diversity. And that is the concept which we have done in businesses. Tata started with only telco, electrical locomotive company. Now they have got product. You name the product and Tatas are there into it. Tatas are into insurance, right from manufacturing of salt up to telco. Everything they manufacture. It's called as a diversification. So diversification knowledge is nothing but making it simple, allowing you to go for major minor combination is nothing but diversification of knowledge. If you have done, let's say, graduation in hotel management, then you do HR and hospitality management as major minor combination. It will help you out in getting yourself diversity. If you have done hotel management, if you have a science background, if you do analytics and hotel management, that will again help you with diversified knowledge. So combination, of course, you have to think based on your own attitude as well as aptitude more, and then you can decide what possible major minor combination you can have. But then that is only for the purpose of diversifying yourself as far as your understanding is concerned. Existence of knowledge exists everywhere. It's only we were there, we were not able to discover it by now. Knowledge, allied knowledge and diversified knowledge. Allied means related to your specialization. So if you are in finance, you can specialize in all those words which I mentioned. Mutual fund, insurances, then what do you call, nowadays new concepts which are coming into the finance, fintech, all. So you can think about diversifying and getting allied knowledge. Allied means related to that particular. So finance person doing courses in finance is allied knowledge. Marketing person doing digital marketing or other advertising. There are many courses, many big companies only in advertisement. In earlier era or in mythology, it was said that there were 64 types of arts. 64 kala असे म्हणायचे. And when advertising came, that was added as 65th art, which was not there on the list of 64 arts. So advertising is definitely a creative field. So you can think of going into that. You will have to do an additional course. You might be having one subject in marketing specialization, but then you have to always keep on getting allied knowledges. You have to get expertise, obviously. One more important thing is you have to be sincere in getting the knowledge. Sincerity, please. You have to get a genuine knowledge. That's why you try to seek the best MBA college, so that genuinity can be guaranteed. You should not have any disparity in getting knowledge. So we don't make any distinction that who should be getting admission in MBA. Anybody can take an admission in MBA because there is no disparity which you have to do. And last but not the least, but most important, that you should not be doing the corrupt use of the knowledge, which most of the companies, I won't name those companies because this is being recorded. So we know many companies who have gone down because of corrupt use of knowledge. The chartered accountants of those companies, they have done a lot of adjustments in their accounts, and the entire company has gone to the dooms. What they have done, chartered accountant is the profession which is listed in Guinness Book of World Records as the most difficult program to undergo, the most difficult course to complete or to pass. And if you ask to any chartered accountant people or commerce people who might be knowing that their results of their examination has reached maximum to 6.5%. So 100 people appear for the examination, only 6.5 people are passing, rest all are failing. That percentage is increased nowadays. It used to be 3% or 4% maximum. That is the difficult most course rated in the world, because it requires tremendous knowledge. The people who can clear CA examination are bound to be intelligence according to that IQ quotient. Because in that field, it doesn't mean that other people are not intelligent, because they may not have progress or they may not have an aptitude of becoming chartered accountant. So he will become somebody else. So there are engineers who are expert, who are very intelligent in their own field. That doesn't mean that he cannot appear as CA, he is not an intelligent. But then still, with all the intelligent quotients put together, chartered accountancy is supposed to be the most difficult educational course recorded in Guinness Book of World Records. And because of the highest knowledge, or probably the supreme knowledge which these CA people have in their own field, they are found to be doing corrupt use of knowledge, and many companies have gone down. There are a lot of cases of corruptions in companies, in organizations, and who do it? It is unfortunately found all these supreme knowledgeable people are doing it, without mentioning the name of companies who might have probably understood. So it speaks about supreme knowledge, self-transcendence, self-supremacy is knowing yourself. So it is again all these things you have to find out about yourself, what knowledge I need to know, where I can get diversified, what allied knowledge I can additionally have, how we can think about getting more and more knowledge and application of it, that you have to judge on yourself. You may go to a medical or this educational counselor, as many of you might have gone to after 10th. So where should I go? That is okay, but then counselor is not supposed to advise you. That's another definition of counselor. Counselor will simply guide you to make your thoughts clear, or will help you to make your thoughts clear. So counselor is supposed to understand what you are. He may not be giving you any advice. So when you go to educational counselor, he should be able to identify what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and he will tell you what are you good at. And then you decide if you are good at finance. Under that we have got many branches in finance. So which area you should be picking up, that is up to you. Under HR itself we have got many branches. You can go to training and development, you can go to performance appraisal, you can go to recruitment, you can go to wage and salary administration, you can think about going into IR. But then where you are good at, that you will have to decide. For example, I cannot be the person of IR because I hate laws. Though I have studied labor laws, we have got in our syllabus. I know one of my PhD students is working on labor law. So I understand labor laws, but then when it comes to working in that particular area, it doesn't suit me. And because that is what I have identified myself, that in which area I should be good, which area I should excel, which area I should select, which fits to my personality. So in your specialization also, we have got many sub-specializations or sub-parts, maybe sub-branches you can say, that you can decide based on knowing yourself. So we have people around visionary and innovators, that is not direct connection with yourself. but connection with the all knowledgeable people, all these great people around. These are all some verses from there. You can skip this. Clarity of knowledge, Anand is talking about that his organization is having so poor system of storage or storing the files that one of the filing cabinet is in between husband and wife. So he needs to improvise on filing system, and that's what his wife is telling him. Knowledge is abstract. M&E is monitoring and evaluation. This ship or maybe can come down, there may be too much of depth, and that entire project will end just in few seconds. This is interesting. Being the CEO of a company, he is getting this book from one of his staffs. And what is the title of the book? Supply Chain Management for Dummies. Dummies means who are dumb people, who don't understand much, who don't have clarity of knowledge. So if CEO is seeing like this, you can just imagine how much there is a possibility of getting more and more knowledge from it. This is what is happening today. Driver of the globe is knowledge management. I don't remember the name of vegetable basket, I guess. That is an app where you get the vegetables online.
Big basket.
And
Big basket.
Big basket. And there's one more app which is coming up an advertisement. For last 2-3 days I am hearing those advertisements on radio, which is talking about why do we want to have a refrigerator in a house when we can provide Dunzo app. So that is the future. And this is what I talked about earlier. Ignorance of knowledge. How leadership can be dangerous if the leader himself is not having a knowledge. What the leader is saying. We are too busy. No thanks. He has come up with a circular wheel as an invention. They are still using the square or rectangular wheel. And leader is saying, no, we are too busy. You come after certain days. So we don't want the circular wheel. This is how the knowledge is diversified. These are all famous companies, how they have developed themselves. Google is interesting. Facebook picture itself will make it clear. There was one type of communication called as Adhyay communication, directionless communication. That's how it happens in Facebook. And then Facebook has proven that any person in the world is just 4 persons away from you. So the connectivity, interconnectivity is so much, I would say, close that you can connect to anybody in the world by just through 4 of your friends. Well, that's all in unit number 9. I'll go to 10 immediately.